Alright guys, so today I want to go ahead and take a look at this. Shout out, by the way, on Twitter to Deep Value Better, who posted this on Twitter, and it is comprising every single ranking of every single offensive line by Pro Football Focus, Madden 24, 4 and 4, 33rd Team, Action, FTN, FP, Show One is Show One. I think that says Sharp is the last one. I've never heard of them before. Nonetheless, though, this is every single offensive line ranked. Now, obviously, Madden 24, you can throw that out the window. Madden 24 does not matter, right? At the end of the day, Madden 24 is the most useless way to look at stats. And if you ever try to see how good a player is based on Madden, then there's no actual logic behind it. With that being said, I wanted to kind of see where everyone is ranking this Bengals offensive line, because in all honesty, this Bengals offensive line is so much better than last year. You now got yourself a franchise left tackle, right? Kappa is back healthy, ready to go. Jonah is going to be right tackle, and so far it looks pretty dang good, so he should be fine at right tackle. And with that being said, Collins is still there if he needs to come back eventually when he gets healthy. And then on the other side, you got Volson, you got Teddy K. So you got a healthy offensive line you're going into the season with that has been literally just improved since last year. And last year wasn't really bad at all. After week 5, they actually shot up like crazy stat-wise. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So starting off right away, we have the first category, which is the market. And they ranked us at number 11. The starter, right here, we have 4. So, okay. We have pass block win rate. They have us listed at 50%. Run block win rate, which they have us listed at 72%, which is interesting, but I think that's because I know Collins is a really good run blocker. He's not that great of a pass blocker, but he's a really solid run blocker. I want to say Kappa is also really good at run blocking. But overall, I would think that, especially with our offense being how pass-heavy it is, and how our line was actually pretty solid last year before injuries, that we would be more on the less on the positive on the pass blocking and not as much on the run blocking. But it is what it is. So here's where everyone ranks us for our stats. Pro Football Focus ranks us as the 17th offensive line of the year so far. Going into this year, they have us ranked the 17th offensive line, which I think is absolutely hilarious when you compare the fact that the Ravens offensive line, they're having them ranked as the 4th best, which when you compare apples here, okay, left tackles, Ronnie Stanley, who really can never stay healthy. He's played one season the last 3 years because of injury. He keeps getting injured. Okay, so that. We have Orlando Brown, who is probably the best left tackle in the league. Left guard, we have Volson, which, yes, he's young. He's still developing. The Ravens have a 6th-round pick that they just drafted named Sulla, who is going to be their left guard going into this season. They're a 6th-round pick because the guy they had in there, Ben Cleveland, wasn't good enough to get the job. So now he's going to be out of there, and he's going to be right guard. Well, might be right guard. He'll be a backup for Kevin Zeitler. So left guard, we have a guy who was a high overall pick and honestly looking good versus their crap pick. 6th-round pick. He actually is looking good in preseason. But still, he's a 6th-round pick versus our proven starter. Then center, they have Tyler Linderbaum. We have Teddy K. I say they're pretty even, actually. Linderbaum is actually decent, but he's young. Teddy K is up there in experience and age, whatever. Right guard, Kevin Zeitler, Alex Kappa. When fully healthy, both of them are pretty equal. I don't think one is really better than the other. Kevin Zeitler actually used to play for us. And then right tackle, we have Jonah Williams. They have Morgan Moses. Now, Morgan Moses, again, like I said, is very equal to Jonah Williams. This is why I don't like rankings and I don't ever understand them. Because at the end of the day, how can you tell me that the Ravens have a 13-point better offensive line than we have when I just listed their offensive line and they're not better in any way? If anything, you could honestly say when Stanley is fully healthy, they're pretty much the exact same as us. They should be number 16 based on the logic that they go off of. But anyway, though, number 1 obviously is the Eagles. Number 2 is the Browns. Number 3 is the Chiefs, according to Pro Football Focus. Again, keep that in mind. Number 4 is the Ravens. Number 5 is the Lions. And number 6 is the Cowboys. Which, again, I don't really have a problem with any of those except for, like I said before, the Ravens being that high up the list when we have just the equal offensive line as them. And to rank us number 17 is stupid. Now, Madden actually ranks us as number 7 offensive line, which, again, they rank the Ravens at number 32, which I think is funny. But at the same time, Madden does not matter. 4 and 4 ranks us at number 14, which... It's funny because the only one who actually ranks us high is FP. And I'm going to guess that's Fantasy Pros. Everyone else has us ranked just absolutely stupidly on this list. Like number 7, okay, that I would say roughly, we're probably around number 7 to 10. If you had a 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm not going to be too mad. I'm not going to sit here and say we're top 5. We're not top 5 in the league, okay? We're not. We could get there one day, but we're not top 5 in the league offensive line. We're like around 7 to 10. I like that range. So I'm okay with Fantasy Pros here. But FTN has us at 14, 13, 12, 16, 12. I think anything above 10, I think it just honestly doesn't make sense to me. But 17 is really freaking ridiculous. I'm not even going to get into how much, but that is absolutely ridiculous. And I disagree with that greatly. Especially when you have the Ravens, who have the exact same offensive line as us, who are pretty much identical, and they're higher on the list than us. We're the Steelers. The Steelers are 12. They have the Steelers at 12. The Steelers offensive line, who last year struggled heavily, very, very heavily last year, the Steelers offensive line struggled. This offseason, all they got was Broderick Jones, who isn't going to be a starting left tackle day one because he's not ready yet. He needs to develop, and they're going to put Dan Moore in there instead of Broderick Jones. And they have a better offensive line than us. Okay, yeah. And their center, they still haven't figured that one out. I think they have Mason Cole or something. They have one of those guys. I don't know why I look at rankings and it actually ticks me off, because I've said many times that analysts are absolutely idiotic and they make no sense and they have no logic. But it's just every time I just do it and I fall for it. I guess I look at it and I'm like, there's no way they can be this idiotic. And then they become this idiotic. It is what it is, man. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.